Coors Field in Colorado's capital, and a light drizzle falling in the last 15-20 minutes. Nothing serious. Looks as if they'll get that first pitch underway on time as we welcome you to Mile High Baseball. The San Diego Padres and the Colorado Rockies as these two teams begin a 3-game weekend series. And good evening, everyone. Happy Friday to you all with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. On the mound, the veteran Eric Stultz for the Padres tonight. He's had a good success against the Rockies.
He really has, and when you're playing in the same division as the Rockies, this will be the 4th time for Eric Stultz teeing it up against the Rockies, who lead the league in hitting. So what does Eric Stultz do? 6 career starts since 2013. Pretty decent numbers. An ERA of 3.38. Any pitcher will take that, but the run support. 14 starts, no runs or 1 run of support in 2014. I think Eric Stultz needs to stick to his strength. It's almost like a tennis player, Dick. You face a guy 4 or 5 times. You know his strengths. You know his weaknesses. I say Eric Stultz, stick with his strengths. That's the command of the fastball and maybe some changeups out of the zone.
And paint those lines,
yes,
just like they do in tennis as well. Now, every team at this stage of the season, September, has an injury list, but no one has this kind of – that's an all-star lineup that's on the DL.
It certainly is. And Walt Weiss, the manager for the Colorado Rockies, is just in fits, just scratching his head. What do I need to do? Tulo, Gonzo, Cuddy, and Rosie. That's what we'll go with. The nicknames of these. But you know what? When you don't have these guys in the lineup, you need other players to pick up the slack. Youngsters, veterans. Justin Morneau is one of those veterans.
Well, how about Morneau? He's going after the National League batting title, only 2 percentage points behind Philadelphia's Ben Revere.
When you look at Morneau at the plate, he looks like he's a big hitter, then he just pulls, right? Just comes out of his shoes. That's not the case. He uses the whole field. Might look like that pull hitter, but he'll wear out left field as well. This guy was an MVP back in 2006 with the Twins. He's just a great veteran presence in this lineup, batting third tonight for the Rockies.
And hitting .400 against Padre pitching this year with 2 home runs. Well, when we return to Coors Field, the doctor is in the house. No, the doctor is in the classroom. And education is beginning for a lot of new faces with the Padres. Reimer Liriano in the Padres dugout as they're getting ready for the first of three against the Rockies. Many times through the course of the last few years, we've referred to Buddy Black as being the dean of the faculty, and he has an excellent group of professors, one of those being Dr. Dave Roberts.
Yeah, Dave Roberts is one of the better communicators in all of baseball, and one thing that he wants to try to do is get into the ears and the heads of the young players to communicate what they need to do to be good on the field.
So let's go into Roberts' classroom. He has a lot of new students.
We're trying to, as much dialogue as before games, after games, and during games, is just trying to let these guys know to, focus and watch the game, pitch to pitch, familiarize themselves with signs and other players. And I think that also just kind of trying to what it is to let these guys know what it takes to be a major league player. And, for the most part, these guys have all been receptive. And I think that in a short period of time, we've already seen improvement.
And that's our Geico quote of the game from Dave Roberts. Coming up, the start of a long road trip. Will it be one that yields success? The Padres hope so, and we're ready for that opening toss coming up from Denver, Colorado. It was reported by TMZ that Everett Cabrera driving under the influence early Wednesday morning, a controlled substance that the California Highway Patrol has since confirmed. The Padre organization has released this statement. We were made aware of the incident involving Everett Cabrera this week, and we take this matter very seriously. We're in the process of gathering information and are in communication with Major League Baseball. We refrain from further comment at this time. But the bottom line is not good news. Everett Cabrera picked up on a DUI, reportedly for marijuana use. So Bud Black, what a tough job. You've got 25 different players, now 40 on the roster with the call-ups, and every individual brings with him the good and also the problems. We're all humans.
Yeah, and you know what? As this road trip starts, it's a long one. It's going to test the Padres' fortitude, what they've got going here as they start this game 66 and 73. And Buddy's the type of guy, and Dick, you know as well as anybody, when we hang around these coaches, they worry about the things they can control. The guys that are healthy, the guys that are hurt. Hey, they're talking about winning this game tonight, game one in Colorado. Let's see how they do.
And if anyone looks at the baseball life half full, the glass is always half full for Harry Buddy Black. So the pregame ceremonies complete, and the Colorado Rockies take the field. The Rockies start tonight 56-84 with all those injuries, in last place in the West, 22 games behind the Dodgers. And here's the Padres lineup for you, brought to you by Toyota. Bud Black sets the lineup with Almonte leading off. Amarista hits second. Jan Solarte, another switch hitter, bats third, plays third. Rene Rivera slotted in the cleanup position this evening. Jed Jerko's had good success here at Coors Field. Tommy Medica trying to break out of that slump at first base. Cameron Maben will patrol that vast area out there in center field. Reimer Liriano in right field, and Eric Stoltz on the mound. Tyler Matzik, he's only 23.
Yeah, and you know what? He's in the plans for a long time for these Colorado Rockies if he can stay healthy, because this young kid, he's got some pretty decent stuff. This being his 16th start. Fastball, slider, and he's got a firm changeup. It's almost like a BP fastball. Really doesn't have a lot of movement. And he pitches into righties, that glove side, right? So he likes to bury that slider and fastball into the right-handed hitters.
They say his slider is much improved. We'll look for that as well. Well, let's look at the Colorado Rockies defensive alignment. In the outfield, it's Dickerson, Stubbs, and Blackman left to right. Arenado, the brilliant third baseman, then Rutledge and LeMahieu. The double play combination, the leading hitter Justin Morneau, and Mike McHenry for Rosario. Rosario injured behind the plate, and Rosario, as we all know, has been a torment to Padre pitching in the past. 60 degrees and getting cooler. Light rain has now passed through. We see some blue skies overhead. And we're ready to play baseball, Mark Grant.
Yeah, it's almost like we're anticipating somebody to tee up the pigskin and kick it downfield.
It is a little autumn-like, isn't it? This
I love it, though.
Experience.
I love the 60-degree weather, 65, little sweater weather, and the grand old game of baseball.
Abraham Almonte will lead it off. The first pitch of the game is high and away, ball one. Matzik has faced the Padres twice this year. Both games he went 6 innings. Both games allowed 5 runs. Both games won by San Diego. 2-0. Amari calling balls and strikes tonight. Two and one to Abraham Almonte. Amarista to follow, then Solarte. Hitting much better from the right side. Almonte chops that one foul. And then, in fact, the two switch hitters, Almonte and Solarte, hitting third, both have much better averages, batting right-handed.
Well, for these hitters, youngsters who experience Coors Field for the first time, they cannot light up and try to swing out of their shoes. Just put a good swing on it. We talked about it with Mark Sweeney many times in this ballpark. He wore the Rockies uniform, so he knows firsthand. Hey, just put a good swing on it. Hard grounders, hard line drives. And if you square it up, it'll go.
Of course, in batting practice, they learn how well the ball does carry here in high altitude. Now a full count to Almonte. Padres are just ahead in the season series. They've won 7, the Rockies 6. Fly ball right center. Cruising into the gap is Stubbs, and he makes the play. One away. And here's Amarista.
You know, I would think that playing in these environs, Dick, with the 60-degree weather and the threat of rain, and you know, it affects any ball player after playing in San Diego, America's finest city, that is. You know, it's 72, 73 clear, so got to stay loose. Got to keep those legs, arms loose.
Yeah, you saw the players in the dugout and there in the background with their weather gear. Some wearing the sweaters, some the jackets. Fans now filing in. Weather is eased. 93 on that fastball from Matzik, who played his high school ball just north of San Diego in Mission Viejo. Was a #1 pick of these Rockies 5 years ago. out of high school, the 11th overall selection. So he's always been promoted as one of the arms of the future for Colorado. He's 4-9 this year. Won his last 2 starts. Up the middle, off the leg of Matzik, and fielded then by LeMahieu, and he completes the 1-4-3 put out. That ball was headed for center field, but Matzik played a little goalie and able to get a leg on it, deflect it to his second baseman.
Yeah, and for middle infielders, you know, you're going to the direction of the baseball. You take a look at LeMahieu, he's going beyond second base, right? Then he's got to retrack, and it's hit so hard that he gets him by about 3 steps.
And that brings up Jan Solarte, batting right-handed. And he too sends it up the middle. LeMahieu positioned perfectly, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Matzik. There's Seth Smith, the former Rocky featured, but we'll see him off the bench tonight, left-hander starter, and we're going to see 2 more southpaws the next 2 games as the Rockies lineup reads this way: Blackman, Stubbs, and Morneau. Arenado hitting cleanup, then Corey Dickerson, Michael McHenry for Rosario behind the plate and hitting 6th, then Josh Rutledge, DJ LeMahieu, and the pitcher Matzik.
And on the mound for the Padres, making his 28th start. Boy, he takes the rock and he answers the bell, Eric Stultz does. Talked to Darren Balsey, the pitching coach for the Padres, says used to the fastball, and he's got to stay down. Big factor also keeping the ball in the ballpark. 4th time around against these Rockies for Eric Stultz in 2014.
And another barometer for Stultz, he can't walk batters, and his success has been that at 28 of 33 games he had walked 2 or fewer, but the last 2 starts he's been much more generous, and he's lost both of those games. 5 walks his last start. Charlie Blackmon raced out of the gate back in April. He was hitting over 400 almost the entire month, and now he's slowly settled into his core, and that's not a bad average. 284 with some power, 17 homers. High pop up right side. Second baseman Jerko lets first baseman Medica take care of it. 1 away. And the Padres defense brought to you by the Aramco Group. Almonte, Maben, and Liriano, the outfielders, left to right. Solarte and Medica at the corners, with Amarista and Jerko the double play combo. Rene Rivera handling Eric Stultz stuff.
Stultz and Maben, the only guys in the lineup today for the Padres who names end in a consonant. Little nugget for you there. Wow. Everyone else.
Gosh, why'd you waste it so early? You should have been sitting on that for later on. We could have built up to that.
You only get that type of information right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
That's right, and from Mark Grant as well. Boy, you study so hard. We didn't get into
certain things just stick out.
Our locker room there at the Ritz-Carlton didn't open until almost 3 o'clock in the morning. And you're that sharp.
You talk about getting in late and getting to the ballpark early. Those two guys, along with the coaches, Darren Ballsy, the pitching coach on the left, Buddy Black, the skipper on the right, working diligently to get ready for these Rockies.
Drew Stubbs, the hitter. 292 his average. 13 home runs. Off the fist. 2-2.
We'll have to see this evening if Eric Stoltz does a fine job of getting in the kitchens of these hitters. What I mean by that is in, down by the fist, down by the label. He got in on Charlie Blackmon for the fly ball on the infield. Now Drew Stubbs, he can go inside or he can go down and away with a changeup.
High fly ball, right field, hit pretty well. Liriano easing back, and that's gone. Oh my. There's the arena baseball home run. A routine fly ball, and it just flies out of here. You get the carry, and that's especially true in right center field. There's a jet stream that goes out to the bullpen. Stubbs hits his 14th home run of the year, and the Rockies have the early lead.
You know, it's frustrating at times. You know, it looked like Drew Stubbs put a good swing on this pitch. Let's check it out. Yeah, good, short, quick, opposite field approach. Liriano runs out of real estate. But you know what? It's going to work that way for the Padres. It works that way for 81 dates for the Rockies.
And that's why the Rockies lead the National League in home runs and batting average, 274 team batting average.
So that's what I was mentioning just earlier. You don't need to change your swing or try to hit it hard or come out of your shoes. You square it up. Whether it's down the right field line or left field line, righty or lefty hitter, it'll go.
Morneau fooled on that one, sweeps it to the second baseman, Jerko. He was hitting .417 the last 14 games against San Diego. 2 away as we take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, Dick, look at that first one. What do you think? Keep the ball in the yard. Well, Eric Stoltz surrendered a home run. Hey, 1-0. Okay, you got to score a run to win anyway. And add on and pile on. In this ballpark, no lead is safe. If you want to get out to an early lead, you drop 3. Hey, go for 4. If you got 5, hey, try to get that 6th run in.
Nolan Arenado, the third baseman. Young man, again, from just north of San Diego County. Active streak with at least 1 home run at home. These Rockies, a high pop-up back of the plate. Rivera won't have a play. So 13 consecutive home games now for Colorado with a home run. No, it's a hitter's paradise.
Yeah.
And if you're not hitting home runs, as Tony Gwynn pointed out, Mark Sweeney has pointed out, there's so much grass out there.
Sure.
Outfielders are playing back. You get a lot of blue pits as well. That's almost too short in right center. Deep in the hole is Amarista, and the throw is too high. Safe on the air is Arenado. Padres with a couple of costly errors in the game last night.
Well, Arenado getting down the line quickly, and Amarista has to go to his right and plant and get rid of that quickly. Maybe a little bit too quickly because he works underneath it, and Tommy Medica can only jump so high. You'd rather have him bounce it over, right, rather than go over his head. Tommy tries to come down with the ball securely in the glove on the bag.
So safe on the air, Arenado. Inning continues, and here's Corey Dickerson. We've documented how outstanding Dickerson has been hitting since August 1st, just terrorizing the league. Now with 22 home runs among the leaders, takes the breaking ball away, ball 1. Giancarlo Stanton with 36 leading the way. 22 for Dickerson. This could have been called a strike.
Yeah.
Looked like it barely touched that outside corner. 1-1.
A little breaking ball from Eric Stoltz. Here's a little slider. Now the slider, the curveball won't break as much. We've talked about that as well. That's why you have to work down in the zone.
30 games, Dickerson the last 30, hitting .317, 9 homers, 28 runs batted in. 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, those heavier clouds that carried a little bit of rain just after batting practice have moved through. Some brighter skies off to the west. 1-0 here, bottom of the first inning on the home run by Drew Stubbs. Safe at first, Arenado on the error by Amarista. And fouled back, and the count goes 2-2.
Going to have to keep an eye on the velocity as well from Eric Stoltz. That was 89. Looked like a very crushable pitch for Dickerson. He wants that one back. And there you see it, Dick. 113 games for Dickerson. That's a nice line for the Rockies left fielder.
So they lose so many outstanding hitters. Tulowitzki, Gonzalez, Kadire, Rosario, all on the DL. And then a guy like Dickerson emerges as a real threat. Punches that to the left side and going the short way. Solarde, and he just does get the out. Jerko was late getting over there, and that was a close play for the final out of the first inning. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. Thrive by Petco, the power of together. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. And here we go, top of the second inning. Rene Rivera, Jed Jerko, and Tommy Medica. Try to get some runs flowing through Coors Field for the visitors. Rivera takes strike one. 3 for 5 against Matzik in their 2 meetings this year. And with a 7 for 17 the last 7 games, Rivera raising his average up over that 250 mark. Center field. Stubbs. Couple of steps to his left. One away. Well, news from the Texas Rangers camp that their manager Ron Washington has resigned after 8 very successful seasons at Texas, including a couple of American League championships. Announced that Tim Bogar will be the interim manager for the remainder of the year. No other details. Ron Washington resigning as the Texas Ranger skipper. And Kevin Towers has been dismissed by the Diamondbacks. Ground ball to the right side. LeMahieu throws out Jerko. 5 up, 5 down for Tyler Matzik.
Boy, a lot of stuff going on in the month of September 2014. Talk about on the field races. They're going to go down to the last week, Professor. That's what makes it fun, huh?
Oh, yeah. And the Padres are going to have a lot to say about who wins the NL West. Now we see some nice blue skies and sunshine. Beautiful sunsets here at the base of the Rockies. Tommy Medica takes a strike.
Talked about Magic throwing inside to righties. That's his glove side. That was the first pitch right there to Tommy for a strike. He also throws a slider, a changeup, and a curveball.
Ball hit deep down the left field line, hooking in the corner, and that's a fair ball. No, foul is the signal. Third base umpire Iasonia waited, eyeballed it, and then threw up both arms and said, nope, just a little bit foul. That's how it's going when you're 0 for 25. You don't get another 3 or 4 feet. He has a 2-base hit.
You know, you make a good point. I'd like to see Tommy Medica get some consistent at-bats. Hey, maybe a lot of runs this game, so Tommy gets 4 or 5 at-bats and has some good results because he has been scuffling lately.
Well, this is a good ballpark to come to as a hitter when you've been fighting to pick up any total of hits. 0-2 the count. Watch out. Sprayed deep into the lower tier off to the right.
Trying to bury the heater in on the fists. Fighting it off nicely. Fastball up.
And foul back toward us. With your speed, you could have run out our door, gone down the hall, run into that booth next door, and made the catch.
I'm not that good going to my right, Professor.
Oh, that's
maybe
right.
to my left.
Oh, I forget. Scouting report. There it is. Yeah. Ground ball sharply, but there's the Gold Glove of Arenado to deny Medica a base hit. Well, that's all right. Medica doesn't get the hit there, but he hit the ball hard twice. That's a good sign. You just don't want to aim anything toward that guy. Arenado, is he ever a defensive whiz? Using hashtag SDFanPhoto. Chance to have it shown on one of our telecasts brought to you by AT&T. Michael McHenry, the catcher, leads off for Colorado. Bottom of the second. 1-0 Rockies on the home run by Drew Stubbs in the opening inning. McHenry, and he's done a good job filling in for Willeen Rosario, and a better defensive catcher than Rosario. Two and 0. McHenry, Rutledge, and LeMahieu, the 6, 7, 8 batters in the order for Walt Weiss. Lined into left field for a base hit. Second Rockies knock, and that'll bring up Josh Rutledge. Boy, you look at the batting averages of this Rocky team. And even without those 4 superstars that are injured, You start with Blackman 284, then Stubbs 292, Morneau 312, Arenado 296, Dickerson 311, and McHenry 316. Is that any good?
Well, they're in last place.
Yeah. That's true.
No,
that isn't good.
You're
High
right,
fly
though.
ball. Rutledge fairly deep in right center. That's way out there, and Maben makes the catch. Again, that ball carrying about 20 feet farther than you expect off the bat. And Maben collects the out.
Dick, you're absolutely right with those averages. It's the pitching. It's been about the pitching all these years. 15th in the National League for the Rockies with a 4.98. They might score 7, but they give up 8, right?
To your point, while Colorado is far and away the top hitting team in the National League, as a team hitting 274, opponents are hitting 277. And there you have it.
Yep.
Try to outscore you. And probably the one pitcher that gives them the best chance to win on a low-scoring game, especially at Coors Field, is the one we're going to see tomorrow, Jorge De La Rosa, who is 13-10, and even better than that at Coors Field, 9-2. Popped up, center of the diamond. Rivera gives way to Medica, and Medica, that one rolled a little round into the pocket of his glove before settling in for the out. Brings up Matzik, the pitcher.
Another key for this series, Dick, is to get into the bullpen for the Rockies. 4.96 ERA, 15th in the National League.
Tough place, which to pitch. Pitchers love coming to Petco Park. Hitters love getting a chance to hit here. Matzik 5 hits and 30 at bats this year. Good sized kid, 6'3", 210, only 23. Well, Eric Stoltz is pitching with a keen set of eyes watching him tonight. His college baseball coach at Bethel College, Division III in Indiana, is here as a fan tonight. Mike Hutchin, who has moved from Bethel to coach at Colorado Christian College.
Must be very proud to see the Southpaw, huh?
Absolutely.
That's great.
And he's excited about working in front of his former college mentor. 2-2. When Stoltz was a senior at Bethel, they won the National Christian College Championship. And he was also an outstanding basketball player. Misses there, and a full count. That'll give McHenry a head start.
You also want to try to avoid deep counts here in Colorado. Well, like any ballpark, but especially here. Let's see if he tries to challenge him with a fastball. Yep.
He got him at the knees. First strikeout for Stoltz. Nothing for the Rockies in the second. It'll be Cameron Maben leading off the Padres' third inning. Drew Stubbs' home run, giving the Rockies the early 1-0 lead. It's time now for the Fan Diego fans of the game. And we have some Padres folks here tonight to root for San Diego.
Yeah, we always see a lot of Friar faithful here in the capital city of Colorado, Denver. All types of uniforms, going back to retro look. Kind of bundled up tonight.
And that extra layer feels good in this cool autumn evening, Friday, September 5th. Cameron Maben checks in at 242. Only 9 runs batted in 74 games. It's been a disappointing year for the center fielder. Injuries included. Maben, Liriano, and Stoltz, the bottom 3 in the Padre order, on top of the 3rd. Two and 0. High foul fly off first. Morneau will watch that sail into the crowd.
You know, as Cameron Maben hits and Reimer Liriano waits on deck, I was just kind of moseying and looking out at the defense for the Colorado Rockies. Drew Stubbs kind of on the shallow side, wouldn't you say? Trying to take away that little line drive maybe, because he's got such good speed. He could go cover the gaps. In fact, if there is a fly ball to the right center or left center field gap.
That's a good point. That's a strike. Maben jumps out of the batter's box, and the ball was in there. 2-2.
Well, did the home plate umpire just ring him up on a third?
2-2.
It almost like he rung him up though, like he was called third. Wonder if he lost track of the count.
Well, Maben takes care of that himself. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Well, now it's time for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks, as Liriano strolls up to the plate. We go back to August 13th in the 4th inning off of Tyler Matzik. Oh, Reimer Liriano has a date with the Western Metal Supply Company building. He really smoked that one. Upper basket. 2-run home run. Getting extended, showing off some power.
First major league blast, and it was a beauty. Lines this one to right field for a base hit. Padres have their first hit off Tyler Matzik. Sharp single to right by the rookie Liriano. That'll give Stoltz a chance to come up and sacrifice him along.
And with this swing right there, it busts up the no-hitter. Going the opposite way. Hey, that's a nice stance right there. He got his hands back in a lock-loaded position, had that front foot down. His weight was back. Nice transfer, going to right field for the base hit.
Liriano with good speed at first, and Stoltz shows his hand. Uh-oh, that's a foul ball. Pretty close. Plate umpire Adam Hamari jumping out from behind home plate to wave that one foul.
You know, I always like to give umpires credit when credit is due. I thought that was a really heads-up play by Adam Hamari. He got that mask off. He got himself in position. Remember, it's where the player touches the baseball. It's not where the player is. It's where the ball is touched. So, when McHenry touched that baseball, as Stoltz squares, ball's off the ground, up, right? It's where he touches it. See Hamari? He's getting down. He's getting an angle where he touched it in relation to the foul line. Hands up, foul ball.
And a tough call. That was close.
Yeah. Umpires are people, too.
Wait a minute. Come in. Could you put that in writing?
They need some loving once in a while.
Yeah, you love everyone.
Remember, he can pull back now. Eric Stoltz, do the old butcher boy as well. Show bunt, pull back and swing.
And probably executes that butcher boy as well as any Padre hitter. Pitcher.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see show bunt, pull back, swing, home run.
Well, of course you would. That's called a strike. 1-2. Yeah, bet when you were a kid, Christmas time, and you found a hair on the carpet and you thought the pony was just around the corner.
Always thinking positively, right?
Good. That's good.
I mean, you have to be a realist, obviously, but you keep that positive frame of mind.
Make each day your masterpiece, Coach Wooden said. Yeah, swing on that time.
That's what the coach said, huh? That's a nice little nugget right there.
I love that. You can't do it every day, but wake up in the morning and make this day your masterpiece. It's up to you.
No, you got that right. You can't rely really on anybody else to do it for you, right?
Although when you're in a managerial position, it's up to you and a lot of other players. Now he squares and takes strike three. Now Stoltz unable to help himself and move that runner along. Second strikeout for Matzik. Abraham Almonte, he is homered off the man he faces tonight. It was the same game that Liriano homered. Almonte finding that little slice of bricks down in the left field corner.
Hey, so what's that tell you? These Padre hitters, they're focusing on maybe the middle part of the plate because Matzik likes to throw the ball in there. So be ready to turn on it. Like we showed Liriano hitting it in the upper basket. Like we just showed you Almonte turning on it, pulling it down the left field line.
Good numbers against the Rockies, limited as they may be. Breaking ball.
There's that slider.
So Matzik ahead of Almonte, 2 strikes.
That slider working around it, and it's a great placement as well. Can't get hurt down there when you bounce it. Rely on your catcher McHenry to smother it for you.
So Matzik, who didn't strike out anyone in the first or second inning, strikes out the side in the Padre third. 1-0 Colorado. We followed the Padres all-time saves leader, the great Trevor Hoffman, around the ballpark on his big day, and you'll hear from his friends and family. Former closer gets an inside look at the ceremony. It's a terrific show. Stay with us. The ball game, Padres Live, the post-game show, and a special POV featuring Trevor Hoffman. Last of the third, top of the order. Charlie Blackmon, followed by Drew Stubbs and Justin Morneau. Hitting .314 against Padre pitching this year. Nice compact swing. And yet, when he gets something he can pull, has done damage. 17 home runs and 66 runs batted in for your leadoff man.
Yeah, he was reserve all-star this year. Player of the week honors. Co-player of the week.
Just outside. Game 2 tomorrow night, 1 hour earlier. Lined into right field, a base hit. There's that short, compact swing, producing a base hit. Leadoff man on again for Colorado at the top of the order, and here comes the home run hitting Drew Stubbs.
There's a hard ground ball. We're talking about Eric Stoltz. He's going to give up his hits during the course of the season. Going into this ball game in 146 innings, 163 hits. Keep the ball in the yard. He has given up a home run this evening early. Limit them to singles. And maybe those ground balls will find an infielder to turn to.
This is a tough man to double up. Stubbs runs so well.
He can fly.
Well, he had some good home run years with the Cincinnati Reds. The high was 22 in 2010. High fly ball, center field. Maben camped under it. One away. And it's time now for the top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco, featuring Justin Morneau. These are players, and just a handful, 6 of them, that have hit .310 or better both at home and .310 or better on the road as well. Morneau, Revere, Abreu, Altuve, Cano, and Martinez, a select group.
You know, that's really amazing for Morneau. It's really a testament to what type of hitter he is, because you look at a lot of the Rocky hitters over the course of the years, Dick, they're hitting .320 at home and they're hitting .240 on the road, whatever the case may be, right? Not in this kid's case.
And the Padres will send out 2 right-handers on Saturday and Sunday, and no one hits right-handed pitching better than this gentleman, Justin Morneau, on the season. #1 in the league against right-handed pitchers.
Oh, 3 in a row over to first base. Got a 2-1 count over there at first.
Hitting .335 against righties, but facing the left-hander Stoltz tonight.
Very short lead for Blackman.
He's their top base stealer, and he's off. The throw by Rivera, not in time. Good throw by Rivera. He got a good pitch on which to throw, but Blackman a big break and has steal number 24 on the season.
Well, a couple of things. Shortening up the lead, maybe because he knows that he's going to be going, and it's one of those where you take a chance with the left-hander out there, Eric Stoltz. You're going to go on the first move. As soon as that foot is lifted, if he comes over, guess what? You took a chance, you get in a pickle, or you just continue on to second base. Very close play at second base.
It was, and had Amarista kept his glove on the sliding Blackman, he came off the bag for a moment there.
Looked like he kind of transferred feet, didn't he, Dick? Amarista straddling the bag, front foot, tag.
Now watch as it continues here. He kind of hops off the bag
right
there.
That's why you have to hold the tag on the runner, right?
So Blackman in scoring position. 1-0 to Morneau with Arenado to hit next. Sliced into foul territory off third. That's going to be out of play. Oh, patience is a virtue. That gentleman waited 15 rows behind where the ball landed, and it just came nicely right into his grasp. Blackman with 1 out, a single and a steal.
Well, a good sign for Eric Stoltz. Not really the best swings from Justin Morneau. Now he has them in the hole at 1 and 2.
One of the many ball players from north of the border, Canada. finding success in the major leagues, American major leagues. Hit .345 one year at Minnesota, .321 another year. Line to left center field. It's slicing back toward Almonte. And the quick throw back into third, and a good one it was. Hit it hard, but the slice denied him extra bases.
Well, the majority of the pitches to Morneau from Stoltz were away, so let's go back to pitch one. That was the stolen base fastball. A little cutter, slider away. That looked like a slider away as well. Trying to speed it up a little bit, but what is the game plan here? Away, away, away. Well, and you know what? Almonte did a nice job positioning himself, spinning towards his glove hand side, and a nice one hopper to third base.
Yeah, he's shown a good arm, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado safe on the throwing error by Amarista, his first at bat. One nothing the score. We're in the last of the third here at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Padres opening a 3-stop road trip, 3 here in Colorado, 3 in Los Angeles, and then 3 more to close out the trip in Arizona. And another foul.
Oh, the crowd's booing. A fan must have dropped that foul ball. Not good. You got to catch it on the fly. You're going to get heckled.
Yeah, I think it was someone in one of the luxury suites there. They saw the little scuff on it and said, "Hey, we don't need that. We want a brand new ball.
We want a pearl."
Up high, 1-2.
That's a pitch by design, but a little bit too much out of the strike zone to Arenado. Being ahead 0-2, throwing that fastball up.
It is perplexing here in Colorado, the Rockies fans, with all the talent, especially the hitters. And here they are in last place in the West. We've got documented Tulowitzki, Gonzalez, Kadire, Rosario. They're on the DL, and you still have the talents of Blackman and Stubbs, Morneau, Arenado, Dickerson. And yet they just can't win. And it all comes back to pitchers that can really stop the opposition, not only here but on the road. And it's still, no matter how much you love the home run and the long ball, you win pennants with pitching.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of ironic because De La Rosa, who's pitching tomorrow, he just signed that extension for the Rockies. He's probably the only pitcher in the history of mankind that said, quote, "I'd love pitching here at Coors Field."
Loves it more. He's got a new $25 million contract for 2 more years. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big strikeout. Ends the second inning and leaves Blackman stranded at second base. After 3 here at Coors Field, it's the Rockies 1 and the Padres nothing. Diego presents Padres Baseball. Brought to you by Sequan Casino. Real friendly, real close. By Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo, just $4.99 plus tax. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, and reverse. You can visit us at aramco.biz. Matzik and Stoltz working quickly as we go to the fourth inning. Amarista starts it for the Padres, trailing 1-0, and takes strike two. You saw the shot in the background over the commercial billboards of Union Station here in Denver. They spent a couple of years remodeling that.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful when completed.
Sure
it's
is.
One of the real outposts in the old days when the trains came through on their way to the west. High chop over the mound. That's LeMahieu, the second baseman, off balance, and he gets him. Close play, but LeMahieu had just enough on the throw. He was off balance to nail Amarista.
That is not an easy play. You've got Amarista who's busting it as LeMahieu is going towards the shortstop position, so he's got to get a little something extra on it. Gets him by maybe a quarter step with the accuracy and the hard throw. That's a nice play.
We got to get Amarista lifts in those shoes. You know, if his spikes were about 3 inches longer, he's safe.
Like those things you put on your feet to aerate your lawn. They got the spikes on there like 6 inches long. You just walk around and aerate your lawn. You need those, huh?
Yeah, maybe we go out to the local hardware and get one of those. Ground ball off the fists of Solarte, and LeMahieu has a much easier play. He's got 3-4 assists already in the game as we take time for the Sequan Casino Daycation stat of the game, and a couple of Padres on that list of rookie leaders strikeouts. Jesse Hahn out in the bullpen, and Tyler Matzik for Colorado. Jacob deGrom, the Mets youngster, 112 punchouts. 2 quick outs here in the fourth to Rene Rivera. He flied to center field his first time. Both teams swinging at that first pitch like it's the last game of spring training. Quick pace. One ball and 1 strike. Padres with only 1 hit. Liriano's line single to right field. And Matzik throwing strikes. They've walked 35 in 91 innings of work this year. Trying to tone down that statistic. Make him hit to get on. No walks tonight. And a pop-up that'll come back toward the dugout of the Rockies, and the play made, juggled by catcher McHenry. He comes away with the ball, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Matzik. He found just enough room in the corner of that dugout, and able to snare to the dismay of his opposing catcher. All right, thank you, Mike and Mark. Eric Steltz will face Corey Dickerson, Michael McHenry, and Josh Rutledge in the bottom of the 4th inning. Drew Stubbs home run, second man to face Stoltz tonight. Went over the right field wall. 375 sign, the shortest part of the ballpark, in that the fence is low and the ball carries so well out toward that bullpen. That's a strike, 1-1. Dickerson, last 37 games, 37 runs batted in here at Coors Field. 4:30 is our TV time tomorrow here on Fox Sports San Diego. Chance to see Joe Whelan. Line drive, left field, slicing fair into the corner. Almonte digs it out. Dickerson takes a turn and he'll hold. And for the 3rd straight inning, the leadoff man on for the Rockies.
And you talk about using the whole field. When you're swinging the bat extremely well, Corey Dickerson is in a groove. He takes this Eric Stoltz pitch. He goes down and.
That's a good hit.
Yeah, it is. You know, if taken, I wanted to wait a second. If taken, that's probably a ball. But great bat control. That's exactly where Eric Stoltz wanted to throw it, but Corey Dickerson beats him for his 25th double.
4th hit of the night for the Rockies. Here's Michael McHenry. He singled to left field sharply his first time. Slow curve, and that just misses. Another slow breaking ball. 68 miles an hour. 1-1. McHenry came over to the Rockies from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Was a Bucko the last 3 years. His major league career hitting average is .223, but hitting .316 this year. Nearly 100 points higher. Hello, Coors Field.
It's always an adventure. How about Stoltz going soft with the curveballs early and then the fastball.
Dickerson out at second base with a leadoff double. Another slow pitch. Grounded to third. They're going to go to third, and they get him. Good play by Amarista. Solarte holding his ground at third. And the basic error made by Dickerson trying to advance, and a ball hit in front of him. And Amarista gets that lead runner.
Well, you know what? Amarista needed to make a good throw, and it was a good throw. But let's see here. Does he get his foot in? Does he tag him high?
He got him.
Yeah, he got him. If that throw is a little higher or a little off the mark, as Amarista kind of juggled a little bit, had a changeup grip over there. Yeah, he got him. And Dan Iasonia, the third base umpire, all over it.
These umpires are doing a great job.
They are doing a fantastic job.
They're human, too, you know.
They got feelings. I seg it. Hug an umpire. That's right.
So safe on the fielder's choice is McHenry with Josh Rutledge, the hitter. He flied out deep to the warning path in right center field to Maben his first time. Oh, there's that tantalizing 66 mile an hour curveball. Good old town team ball, country ball. And another one. Glove by Solarte, goes to second for one, back to first. A double play. Around the horn, 5-4-3. The double play ends the fourth inning. And after 4 here at Coors Field, it's the Rockies 1 and the Padres nothing. Good relay, Jerko. Tomorrow, a full day of MLB action. It begins Giants and Tigers. How about that matchup?
Oh, my.
Starts at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Fox. And then our game. Catch the Padres Rockies game 2 of the series. That's at 4:30 Pacific right here on Fox Sports San Diego. Doubleheader, Giants and the Tigers, the Padres, and the Rockies.
That's a great day of baseball, Professor.
Absolutely. You know, I was listening on the radio to a local announcer here, and he was referring to the statistic in baseball as so-and-so had so many RBI, not RBIs, but RBI.
Oh, no.
And you hear that a little bit, announcers trying to change the old traditional RBIs, and I think they're trying to be grammatically correct. But if they're going to do that, Jerko lines out, it would be RBI, runs batted in.
Right.
They don't say RBI, they say RBI, and it's confusing to me, and I just thought I'd throw that in.
Hey, you know what? It's a good talking point. And I'm right there with you. RBI. You know, baseball has its own vernacular, right? Whether it's right or wrong, grammatically speaking. As long as you and I, who are baseball fans, understand what you're saying, it's been like that for 150 years, right?
RBIs.
RBIs. He has 1 RBI. He has 100 RBIs.
And the argument is, well, it isn't run batted ins, but
Right.
it's not RBI either, because that's RSBI. And anyway, a K is a K, whether you're swinging or taking it, and
Right.
Jerko has struck out. That's number 4 for Matzik.
Yeah, and if you're swinging on the strikeout, it's a frontward K in your book. If it's looking, it's backwards.
Tommy Medica, is that how you scored your strikeouts, backwards and forwards?
If they're, yes, swinging is the regular K,
Yeah.
and then the caught looking is backwards.
Yeah.
You know how I learned that? Baseball Digest. My dad got me a subscription to Baseball Digest as a kid, and it had always, in every issue, a rules section and like a scoring section on how to keep score.
Hey, that's, to me, it's always been part of coming to a ball game is to keep score.
Yeah.
Medica grounds that sharply, but LeMahieu shaded over toward second and throws him out. So Medica's hit it hard twice,
Yes.
once to third, once to second, both for outs. And while we have a moment, happy birthday wishes out to one of the great comedians of our time. Bob Newhart is 85 today. How many times has he made us smile or even laugh heartily? And I know you'd want to say happy birthday. You probably send her a card. Raquel Welch is also
How you doing?
celebrating her birthday.
Yeah.
Hubba, hubba.
How old is Raquel Welch today?
74 years young. You're not supposed to, right?
Right.
A woman of her elegance say how old she is, but she'll probably not call. Maben struck out swinging the first time.
Looks like Almonte is trying to get a leg up on these Rockies.
Oh, I like
down
it.
by a run.
Two balls and a strike to Maben. Bases empty. 2 outs here in the 5th. Padres have had only 1 base runner. Liriano's single. Line drive single to right field in the 3rd. No walks and 4 strikeouts from the 23-year-old Tyler Matzik.
Good hitters count right here for Cameron Maben. Look for that fastball, middle in. Matzik likes to throw it in there. Turn on it.
Ball 4. There is the second base runner. First walk of the night for Matzik.
Holiday Wonderland is coming to Petco Park this December. The inaugural holiday celebration is fun for all ages. It begins on December 5th for 12 nights in December from 5 o'clock to 10 p.m. Ride Polar Express trains, explore Candyland, light vignettes, feed live reindeer.
How about that?
Yeah, discover Santa's workshop, have a photo with Santa, and much, much more. Visit Padres.com/holiday for more information. How could you not go to that?
So
See
they're going
Santa?
to decorate Petco Park. It could be a total Christmas fantasy land,
Yeah.
Petco. That's going to be terrific. And you don't have to be a kid to enjoy that.
I'm going.
Reimer Liriano singled his first time. He steps out of the batter's box to go through a series of signs. Glenn Hoffman down there at third.
Matzik 15-17 in the first pitch strike department. He is pounding the zone.
Again, Liriano with that monster home run at Petco off the man he faces tonight, Matzik. And he fouls that one away. 2 strikes to count, 2 outs. Maben at first base. Pitcher Stoltz on deck. The only run, the home run by center fielder Drew Stubbs of the Rockies, his 14th of the season. Lays off a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. That was tempting.
That's sneaky, isn't it? After throwing a slider, maybe throwing a changeup. You know, one of the first nights as this season is now in September where the pitcher's now allowed to go to his mouth and blow into his hand because it's a little cool out there. Just noticed Matzik going to his mouth.
Runner goes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout, his 5th. Matzik. Padres lead 1. We're at the halfway mark in this one.
For a runner, you want the ball hit this way to take the third base. Now, one of the Cardinals sends a baseball. If the ball's hit here and then you try to go, that's when the infielder will throw the runner out. So, hey, roll it, Danny. Look, it's to his left of the runner. Not good. Not good. He runs into an out, a runner in scoring position. Amarista fires a strike to third base. That is a big out for San Diego. If you can beat the ball, you go. He did not beat the ball on that one, and that is a no-no.
It's basically as you take your lead. If the ball is in front of you, you don't try to go. If you see the ball behind you, towards second base, then take off. DJ LeMahieu is starting things for the Rockies here. Last of the 5th inning. LeMahieu 7 for 18 against Stoltz. He popped up his first time. Then it's Matzik and Blackman with the Rockies hanging on to a 1-0 lead. The Padres bats have become silent. He lost the last 2 games to Arizona, scoring just 1 run in each of those 2 games. So they've now gone 23 innings and scored only 2 runs in this stretch. To right field, Liriano will have to play it on a hop. And LeMahieu continues his fine hitting here at home. He's the number 7 home hitter in the National League starting tonight at 3:15.
I'll tell you what, DJ LeMahieu might want to check that batter's box because his knuckles might be on the ground. Stoltz got in his kitchen and he fought it off. As you take a look at the run support, Dick, we've talked about that this year for Eric Stoltz, or I should say the lack of it.
14 starts where the Padres have scored either no runs or 1 run. And no runs tonight. But you have to accept your fate. You toe the slab. You do the best you can.
That's
Hope
right.
You get some support.
What you can't control is where the ball goes out of your hand, right? You can't control what happens after that as far as the hitter hitting it, right?
Matzik squaring to bunt and taking 1-0. So the Padres in their last 9 games are 6-3, and yet they've scored only 20 runs. So they've made them count because of their good pitching.
Yep.
Good bunt. Medico will throw back to the second baseman Jerko. And with 1 out, LeMahieu in scoring position for the top of the order. So 4 straight innings, the leadoff man safely aboard for Colorado. But only the home run way back in the first inning accounting for the lead. 1-0. Blackmon singled sharply to right field and stole second, and then he took himself out of the game by trying to advance to third on the ball hit in front of him. His last time up, the 3rd inning. Good numbers with runners in scoring position. Yeah, and you know, when we talked about the All-Stars that aren't available because of injury, Tulowitzki, Cargo, Kadire, Rosario, we left out a man who retired. Todd Helton is another bat that's going off to the resting forest.
Yeah.
Base hit up the middle. It's Blackmon delivering. Here comes LeMahieu. He'll score easily. It is 2-0. There's your leadoff man with his 67th run batted in of the year. The Padres leader is 45. And these Jerkos had many more chances with men on base. Blackmon delivers.
You know, we talk about shifts and left-handers that are up there, 3-man shift, 4-man shift that we've seen. But on this particular way that the shift was being played, Jerko was playing a little bit more on the pull side. Blackmon got a pitch up and away, and he beat the shift by going more towards the center of the diamond because there was no chance for second baseman Jed Jerko to get that. So Charlie Blackmon trying to go up the, as Mark Sweeney says, the bigger part of the field, gap to gap, and he gets the safety to center field.
And here's Drew Stubbs, his homer accounting for the first run. Blackmon stole the last time he safely reached. Number 24. Bluff throw, Rivera. Say, did I tell you, Mark Grant, that the NLCS and the NLDS are on Fox Sports 1 this year?
I know that, yeah, and I think the people should know that so they can tune in for the NLCS and NLDS.
Just a month away.
Yeah.
Less than a month.
Be here before you know it. A good hit and run combo right here for the Rocks.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stubbs has power, but he also strikes out more than any Rocky. That's the 118th time.
And of course, I'm sorry about that, Dick. I'm sorry. Early in the count, it would be a good chance to hit and run with 2 strikes. Nope, not going to do that. You don't want to do that to the hitter, but early in the count, you might see something like that. Now last time up for Justin Morneau, this is how Eric Stoltz pitched to Justin Morneau and got him out. With a fastball for a ball, a slider. He kept the ball consistently away, remember?
And he does to start this sequence outside. Blackmon, a threat to steal, has a good lead at first.
Here comes a slider.
2-0. Stoltz has not walked a man tonight, and he struck out 3. 2-0 now, Colorado. 2 out. Blackmon at first here in the 5th.
Throw over to first.
Did you have a good pickoff move?
You know what? I was pretty quick.
Good feet,
I purposely worked on it. Quick feet, short, quick throw to first base. Like throwing a football almost, right? There's another throw over to first base here. And, you know, with the battle between pitcher and hitter, especially in this case Morneau, you know, Stoltz, I think he's going to stick to his strength. And I think Morneau knows the trend of Eric Stoltz as well. Breaking balls away, sliders away. But that doesn't mean that Stoltz can't try to sneak on him like maybe a high fastball in.
3-0. Morneau is grounded to second and lined to left.
I mean, these guys watch hours of video of the pitcher they're going to face, tendencies, counts. And it's all documented, too, on these video systems. You've seen it before, haven't you, Dick?
There he goes. Throw by Rivera, not in time. He swiped another. His 25th of the year.
Going out 3-0 there, a fastball away, gets the call. And the throw on the shortstop side of second base. Let's see, does Alexi keep the, yep, see how he kept his glove on him that time?
Rene unhappy that he didn't throw him out. He's had good success. Now first base open, 3-1, and Morneau will get the walk, and that's almost a pitch around for the top hitter Morneau, even though now the lefty Stoltz faces the right-handed hitting Nolan Arenado.
Oh, Rene Rivera going over some signs out in front of home plate, and especially infielders. Anything just out of your reach, got to dive, got to knock that ball down with that runner on second base.
Arenado was picked by the Rockies in the second round of the draft in 2009 as a catcher. Runners go, or at least one does, and he is out. Rivera able to smile now, unhappy that Blackman has stolen twice on him, and he makes amends. He gets back with a perfect throw to the bag at third, and Solarte with a tag. And once again, Blackman makes it out at third base.
We might see a challenge here, Dick. Walt Weiss out of the dugout talking to Dan Iasonia, the third base umpire, and there's that look into the dugout.
Too much time. Now they're going to challenge.
You know, I initially thought he was safe. I'll be quite honest with you. When this play was developed and it was going on, kind of tough there because we're screened by the leg of Blackman.
I think we have another angle that will be more from the home plate side. So the challenge here, if overruled, it'll be first and third with 2 outs. Arenado still at the plate.
Well, not only is Dan Iasonia the calling umpire on that play, he is also the crew chief, being joined by C.B. Buckner on the left.
And of course, when they replay it up on the scoreboard, the fans are naturally going to root for what's theirs, and he looks safe there, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looks like the left foot gets on the bag, but does the glove hit the back foot before? I think he looks safe.
I do too.
Close.
Great throw.
Yep.
If he tagged him a little lower, but he gets him up around the calf, and by that time that foot is on the base.
You know, really tough to tell, huh? It might be one of those that falls under the category of stands because they really can't come up
with clear evidence to overturn the call on the field. That's a shame Joan Rivers has.
Yeah,
left
isn't that a
us, huh?
shame? Yeah.
81. Another look. I liked her line. I've had so much plastic surgery. When I die, they'll donate my body to Tupperware. She was really a pioneer in terms of comedians, and hey, she was the first woman to take Johnny Carson's place for a week.
Host the Tonight Show.
Yeah,
that's right.
He loved Joan Rivers.
She was a beauty. So what's the call here?
Oh my! I really love that replay. It's good, and it was quick too. You know. So Blackman makes it out at third twice in one game, twice in 5 innings. 2-0. And as we promised you earlier, we have the AT&T fan photo for you. You can tweet your photo to hashtag #STFanPhoto. Chance for it to be shown in an upcoming telecast brought to you by AT&T.
Hey, Kelly V. Kelly the Cougar. Yeah.
Kelly 5.
Oh, we could do that too. That's right. That's a good call. I like that.
A little mystery in there. Yeah. Is she Kelly V or Kelly 5?
Wow.
Maybe she's Italian. Well, the Padres work to be done, and Eric Stultz trying to help himself with a bat. Not quite as successful hitting this year as the last couple. He's 4 for 39. Actually 4 for 40 now, hitting an even 100 after striking out the first time. Bouncer up the middle, and LeMahieu earned his money tonight, didn't he? That's his 5th assist.
Hey, in the 60s, the sign, like 2 fingers up, it meant what?
V, victory.
No, peace. In the 40s, that meant what?
V was victory.
You know what it meant at the Gladiators' time at the Coliseum?
What did it mean?
5 hot dogs, please. I know,
you're just kidding, aren't you?
That's bad.
Well, if you held up a V, then it'd be 2 hot dogs.
No, Roman numeral 5.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. The Roman Coliseum.
I got it. Oh, I got it. Yeah. I didn't get the setup there. I'm feeling slow tonight. It must have been that.
It's the altitude.
And the late flight.
Top of the order. Got to get something going.
Try and a bunt single. That'll get it something going. Almonte earns his way on with a well-placed bunt. The charge by Arenado, and he couldn't barehand it. That's a victory in itself that he doesn't make the play.
Good call, Professor. And you know what? With the hits not falling in there with the Padres, now that only being the second hit, why not try to challenge Arenado and get Matzek off the mound to try to make the spectacular play? Arenado cannot barehand it, and the Padres have a runner with 1 out.
And that brings the tying run to the plate here in the top of the 6th. Amarista hit the ball hard, but to the mound and off the pitcher Matzek for a 1-4-3 put out the first time. Grounded to second in the 4th inning. LeMahieu out at second base has a magnet in his glove. One put out after another. Recounting his assists, 7 of them tonight. Very valuable utility man, Amarista, and he's done a solid job at shortstop. In the dirt, 0-2.
Time now to check the Cholula flamethrower with Tyler Matzek out there. 96, and as Mark Sweeney would say, that's hot sauce.
He loves doing that, doesn't he?
I love it. I love hearing it.
Yeah.
18 of 20 first pitch strikes. He's had 12 in a row this evening, Tyler Matzek has.
Chopped foul pass first. After Amarista, Jan Solarte. Those laces for Almonte, huh?
Yeah.
Neon green.
Just checking. When was the last home run by Alexi? I can look that up.
Oh, no. Back to Matzek. He goes to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. And Marista safe on the fielder's choice. 1-6 on the putout, erasing Almonte. So, with 2 outs, it's Solarte the batter. He's grounded twice to second. It's interesting. The Rockies could have played to this point in the game, 5 2/3 innings, without a shortstop in terms of balls being hit to him. I mean, he's had to field that potential double play there or get the force out. But all the action's been at second base. LeMahieu. Grounded foul past Hoffman at third.
By the way, July 11th was the last time off Dan Herron for Alexi hitting a home run. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
The reason I said no was just that when he hits a home run, he changes his swing and tries to hit another home run and another home run.
Do a little bit too much after the fact, huh?
And I like Amarista when he goes to left field and center field. That's his personal opinion. I think he's been more successful as a hitter, trying to not pull everything. Solarte. To left field, but that's right at Dickerson, and the inning is over. Padres scoring drought continues. Middle of the 6th. Rockies 2, Padres nothing. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Colorado leading here 2-0, last of the 6th inning. Lack of support again offensively behind Eric Stoltz. And a deep drive to left field off the bat of Arenado. That's got plenty of distance, and Arenado will circle the bases for the 16th time this year. Three 0 Colorado. Second home run, both solos. The other by Drew Stubbs.
Well, the 1-0 pitch, it's out and it's elevated. It looks like Rene Rivera wanted it inside. Arenado gets extended.
Had that solid sound, didn't it? More than halfway up the bleachers and left. So that's 5 straight innings. A base hit leading off the frame for Colorado. Dickerson, grounder to third, and a double to left. Fouled off Rivera. Looking back at the run of games here for the Padres, the last 8, they've scored 3-3-2-1, 3-2-1-1, none. This being the 9th game. So the offense has become silent, even though they've won because of the pitching. They were able to get those walk-off wins against the Dodgers.
Yeah, it doesn't give a lot of wiggle room. for the pitchers, does it? As far as making a mistake here and there.
So 3-0 for this rebuilt Colorado team, reformed because of necessity, injuries, the key players, but they've come up with some hitters. Two and two as Tim Stauffer gets loose in the Padre pen. Churko to Medica, one away.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Now, you didn't let me get the stopwatch out. We had a little wager going that
was a test run. That was my spring training.
Well, you don't even need the copy because you've got it all memorized. And so after if we get a foul ball to the next hitter, I've got the watch now.
You want to do it again?
And I want to. Yeah.
Double copyright?
You think you can? You said 8 seconds you could do it, and still we would understand
the words.
That was
the over/under, right?
Yeah.
8 seconds.
But you thought you could beat 8 seconds, and we'd still understand the words.
Right.
So you could do that fast. You know, you've always been kind of a fast-talking son of a gun. I mean, ground ball to short, deep short. Amaristo the long throw in time for the out. All right, you ready?
Yep.
I'll give you a 1, 2, 3, and then you start.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres. I kind of flubbed it a little bit.
Yeah, you did. 8.7 seconds,
right.
but yeah, that's. I think you could. You can beat 8.
I got to work on it.
Yeah, we'll give you another chance tomorrow. Boy, that's exciting.
Now
we've got our audience locked in. Don't tell them what inning you're in. We'll have to wait for the whole game to see how you do. Josh Rutledge a long out to deep right center and grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. 1-1.
See, now I'm mad at myself because I messed up.
That's it. That's a pressure situation. You know.
Sure it is.
I mean, off the fifth foul.
Wow. See that bat that Josh Rutledge is using? That last pitch was on that dark part of the bat. It goes dark, and then like the ash part of the bat. I think that last pitch got on the dark part of that bat.
Struck him out on the high fastball, but the leadoff home run off the bat of Nolan Arenado, and the Colorado Rockies, after 6 innings, lead the Padres 3-0. First inning, second at bat. Drew Stubbs over the right center field wall and a 1-0 Rockies lead. Home run number 14. And Nolan Arenado in the bottom of the 6th inning gets a high changeup and drills it deep for his 16th home run of the year. And Tyler Matzik has allowed only 3 Padres to reach safely, a couple of singles and a walk. And Rivera leading off here, top of the 7th, hits it well, but the shortstop Rutledge makes the play. And Matzik rolling along with a lot of ground ball outs as we look at the game summary. Stoltz has pitched well enough, but no support. Matzik has been outstanding. 6 innings of shutout balls. Stubbs with a homer. Charlie Blackmon adding an RBI single, 2 for 3. 6 hits total given up by Stoltz.
Hey, and if you're a quality start statistician, right, it's a quality start for Eric Stoltz.
7 hits, counting Arenado's home run. Jed Jerko has grounded out and struck out. Never changes his expression, winning or losing. He's just a solid veteran. Been there, done that, gives you the best he can.
I think you hit it right, Dick. Solid, right? Takes the ball every 5th day. He's going to battle. Hey, he's going to give up hits. No doubt about it.
But he pitches.
He does. Exactly right. Hey, on a team with some offense, Eric Stoltz can win in the double digits.
Yeah. He was last year.
Yeah.
And Jerko works the count to 3-1. In fact, as I recall, Stoltz led the team in wins last year with 11.
Yep.
High hopper to Arenado. He braces and throws across in plenty of time. And Jerko is gone 2 away here in the 7th.
Well, we know that Arenado, he's got that gold glove last year. Makes it look routine. To his right, to his left. What was it, 15 errors this year? He had 27 last year and still won the gold glove.
23 years young from up in El Toro. Medica has hit the ball hard twice. Nothing to show for it. Grounding out to 3rd and to 2nd.
I'd like to see Tommy lay into one here.
Tommy would like to see him. What's he throwing a little mustache, is he?
Changing it up a little bit?
Yeah, I think until he gets out of this slump, he's going to grow some fuzz.
Well, Southland Technology, Fox Tracks, you tell where Matzik is going. In and down and in.
And here's an ideal time for a pitcher to waste a fastball up.
Especially, good point. Especially after being in and then down by the feet. Maybe one up near the eyes or higher.
No, he goes downstairs with 90 miles an hour, 1-2. Very efficient.
Wow.
Only 78 pitches, 2 outs into the 7th.
That last pitch was a strike.
Inside. 2-2.
I like how Matzik is just attacking the strike zone. He is not being tentative, right? He's not trying to just kind of feel his way on the corners.
That's a looper to left, but is hanging up for Dickerson, and another 1-2-3 inning for the left-hander Matzik. Petco, the power of together. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. The city is on the move at double pace. It looks like the Fox Sports San Diego television team reacting to the announcement, free lunch.
Hey, they deserve it.
Yes,
they work hard.
You got to run hard to get your free lunch. And if it's free,
it's for me. Give me 3.
Take 3, yeah. Ground ball through the hole into left field. And again, the leadoff man with a base hit. That's 6 consecutive innings. The leadoff man for the Rockies with a base knock. LeMahieu continues to hit well against the Padres. And Stoltz.
And a ground ball that found the hole. LeMahieu out in front of that just a little bit. I'd like to see Eric Stoltz get a quick inning here.
It's probably his last. He's scheduled to hit 3rd in the top of the 8th.
Going to see a bunt here.
Matzik successfully sacrificed his last time and takes a strike. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Rocks, as they call them here. ROX, the Rockies. No runs, 2 hits. This man is allowed to the Padres. Look at him getting up in the front of the batter's box. A little better chance to keep it fair. Beautiful bunt. And Stoltz with the underhand flip. LeMahieu moves to second base. Well, we've been looking forward to the return of Joe Whelan. The Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago, and finally Joe's back, looking for his first major league win. A handsome right-hander will be on the mound. 4:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego for the pregame show. Jorge De La Rosa. So Whelan draws a tough opponent. De La Rosa is 13-10, the ace of this Rockies staff. And De La Rosa has an amazing record here at Coors Field. This is, I had to say, that can't be right. It must be a typographical error. De La Rosa is 44-14 here at Coors Field. As we have a pitching change, we'll be right back. Well, a pitching change. Frank Garces coming in. That's brought to you by Drew Ford. Let's go to some other business here. Keys to the game brought to you by the Honda dealers of San Diego County. Now let's see how Mark Grant did tonight.
Well, Eric Stoltz gave a couple home runs, right? Yeah. One of my keys was keep the ball in the yard. Didn't happen. Stubbs, Arenado, home runs. Add on and pile on. Well, the Padres no runs. They only have 2 hits. So I'm giving myself an F.
You know what I thought? These were the keys to the game for the Rockies.
No.
And you'd have been right on.
Yeah.
You'd have been right on.
Yeah, so.
Hey, tough night. Hey, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, our Drew Ford pitching change, as Dick just mentioned. Frank Garces, his 5th game. He pitched against the Diamondbacks yesterday. through a third of an inning. Was that left-handed specialist that came in and got one out. And he did a fine job as Eric Stoltz. Boy, once again, he battled. And a victim of no support, 6 1/3, 8 hits. He is responsible for the runner out at second base.
No one in Major League Baseball is supported more poorly than the veteran Stoltz. 15 starts, 15 where the Padres have supported him with no runs or 1 run. You better get a good lawyer. File for non-support. Blackman, he's got a couple of hits, a couple of steals.
Well,
RBI.
One thing, Dick, here for Garces, he's got to really concentrate here in Colorado with that breaking ball. If he's going to throw it, keep it down in the zone. He threw in just a little bit ago. It was a hanger. Kind of got away with it. Got to keep it down.
Blackman doesn't seem to be bothered by left-handed pitchers. He takes good swings, and that was an example. You never heard a word out of Eric Stoltz's mouth. Gee, if they just score some runs for me. He's not a complainer. He's done the best he can. You know, now and then you give up 3 runs and you win 8-3.
The guy's a pro. Just goes about his business. Keeps him in the game.
Sets an example for the younger pitchers.
Yeah.
Hey, look at how he behaves.
Sure.
1 and 2. And that'll make it to the seats off third. So you know what we're going to do? You know that disclaimer? We're talking about how well you do with the fast read.
Yes.
We're going to challenge the other 29 Major League broadcasting teams. And I'm going to put my money on you to beat all of them in the 8-second read.
I appreciate your trust in me.
I think we got
that's a great
something
chance.
here.
Maybe we can do something for charity.
Should we copyright it? And then, yeah, we can.
Copyright the copyright?
LeMahieu at second with 1 out.
How about a breaking ball away right here?
Ooh, that was close to a balk. Foul back.
Laid on the fastball. 92 from Frank.
He gave it a little leg twitch as if he were going to go into motion and then put his foot back down. Got to be careful.
Hey, Frank had a nice ERA. Double-A San Antonio with the Missions. 51 outings, ERA of 1.93. Had 8 saves.
You know what that'll do? Get you into the big leagues.
Absolutely.
There goes the runner to third and hit by the pitch. And so the runner, that a tremendous break. LeMahieu had it stolen. Will have to go back to second. And Blackman jogs to first, hit by a pitch.
Well, sometimes as a pitcher, you got to vary your moves. Garces, he one-looked him here, and it was a great jump by LeMahieu. And like you said,
Balsley goes out. No, that's the manager, Bud Black. He's going to take the ball from Garces. He was in there to get the left-handed hitter out. Right-handed hitter coming up, Drew Stubbs. So Bud Black will go to the bullpen and bring in a righty with runners at first and second. We're in the 7th, and the Rockies lead by 3. He's in the groove.
Oh, yeah.
Rhythmic. He's working in some baseball moves.
Well, he's rocking it out to Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, just hit his mom with a mitt. She's out. Those eyes, huh? Were you ever young? I think
I still am, and I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, I like that answer. Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize.
It's only a number.
Right?
It's only a number.
That's right.
He's going to sleep well tonight. Having a good time at the ball yard. All right, 2 on with 1 out. And Nick Vincent. How about Nick Vincent? Those are his season numbers. Better than that. 21 straight appearances without allowing a run. 19 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings for Nick Vincent. And Tyler Matzik has had a good run as well of scoreless innings, counting tonight.
So with 1 out, he inherits 2 runners. Nick has inherited 51 runners. 42 has scored. He had a nice run there for a while. I'm sorry, take that back. That's hitter's faced. 33, Dick. He has inherited 33 runners. Only 3 have scored.
Well, that's what you're talking about.
I stand corrected, and he inherits these 2 runners.
Drew Stubbs with 2 outs. Homered to right center, flied to center, and struck out.
And there it is, 91% of the time. You like the feeling when Nick Vincent is out there on the hill with runners on base.
Trying to keep it at 3-0 here in the 7th. LeMahieu at second, Blackman at first. And he quickly jumps in front of Stubbs. 2 strikes. The Raja of Ramona.
I like it.
Fouled away. And speaking of the nicknames, and Sultan of Swat comes to mind only because Derek Jeter now has more base hits than Babe Ruth.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Isn't that terrific?
It really is. Quite a career.
And those of us in the West Coast not appreciating the tremendous talents of Derek Jeter, but wow, the numbers are fantastic. He's automatic for Cooperstown.
Oh. Yep.
Put him in now. 2 strikes again, Drew Stubbs. Tried to get him to go up the ladder.
Didn't somebody, speaking of nicknames, they dubbed him Mr. November, right? Because remember that one World Series, he hit the home run in November because it carried over to November. Reggie Jackson being Mr. October.
Right.
Right. And then somebody dubbed Derek Jeter as Mr. November because
of a little bit of a reach, though.
Oh, it was big time home run, though, for the Pinstripers.
Yeah. 1-2. Out of play. Well, Stubbs back in the first inning was the second man that Eric Stultz faced. He just sent a fly ball to right, looked routine, just kept flying and flying to right center in that little jet stream and fell over the fence for a home run. Is number 14. Even as he came around the bases, he kind of smiling as if to say, man, I didn't think that was going to go. It did.
A Coors Field special.
That's where you want to hit it. High in the air to right center. Check swing, and it remains 1-2. The Padres have not been able to use their top hitter, Seth Smith, and he's been especially effective against the Rockies and here in Coors Field. Hitting .429 against the Rockies this year, and lifetime average of .302 here at Coors. But with the left-handed starter, he's on the bench, and there's 2 more lefties coming up at the rest of this series. Yeah, that 90-mile-an-hour fastball looks a lot faster, doesn't it?
It's sneaky. It gets on top of you. It's got a little bit of movement with that cutter. I'll throw the slider as well.
There's Seth Smith.
Hopefully the Padres can get themselves into a position to where they can use the bat of Seth Smith late in the game for that one swing, right? for a 2 or 3 run shot.
You bet. Couple innings to go, and another foul. Justin Morneau would be next. Well, they're all excited here in Mile High City. Of course, with Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos opening their season this weekend, just as the fans back in our favorite city, San Diego, are ready to root for the Chargers Monday night. Quite a battle here as Stubbs fouling off several pitches. 2-2 now. Ninth pitch of this at bat, and another foul.
Hey, get caught up on the latest sports news and updates with Steve Hartman and Mike Costa on Extra Sports 1360 Fox Sports San Diego tonight after Padres POV on Fox Sports San Diego. You don't want to miss it. It's great television. Some Padre faithful. Hey, what are you doing?
He's resting in the bottom half of the innings, and he's getting ready to really roll.
Oh, there you go.
I think he's reading something. Yeah. Maybe he's looking at some texts.
Yeah, I think so.
Working out a formula for the Padres to come back from a 3-0 deficit.
He's checking the box scores of other games around the league.
Tenth pitch of this at bat. Nice. Strike 3 called, and Vincent wins that battle. 2 away.
That's a great pitch by Nick Vincent.
Brings up Justin Morneau.
Straightening up, Drew Stubbs. Let's check it out on the hand. It's a 4-seam fastball. Straight, right on the inside corner. It looks like Stubbs expected a little bit of movement, maybe that ball kind of sinking in. Not the case. Big pitch by Nick.
And now the second best hitter in the National League, Justin Morneau, with a .312 average. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. And we mentioned earlier that Morneau especially difficult to get out against right-handed pitching. He's hitting .335 against righties, the best in the National League. So
this
Vincent's really, this is the acid test.
Great matchup here.
Different story against left-handers, but eating up right-handed pitching. And 2. You noticed as Morneau was setting up his grip on the bat, really, it's a nice little lesson for kids to know. Don't squeeze the juice out of the handle of the bat initially. Just get comfortable, have those hands, then you tighten.
Right.
Yeah, just a nice easy grip, and then as he gets himself ready, he loops that one into the seats down the left field line.
Yeah, you don't want to have sawdust coming from the handle, right, when you're gripping that bat.
Just a nice, relaxed grip on the bat, and then he tightens it as he anticipates the contact. Fox Tracks, Southland Technologies presentation. Low and outside the last 2. This one grounded to second, and Jerko there to throw out Morneau. Good job again. How about Nick Vincent? On to the 8th. I'll look forward to that. Mike and Mark is the first pitch to Cameron Maven, leading off the 8th inning, taken for a strike. Tyler Matzik is working on something that's quite extraordinary, a shutout at Coors Field. And as a rookie, of course, it would be his premier performance as a pitcher. The last time, look at that, 3.5 years ago, 2011 April, Chacin shut out the Cubs here at Coors. None since. That's a lot of chances.
And with the way he's throwing in the pitch count, Walt Weiss is thinking CG, complete game.
I mean, next to a no-hitter, that's about the ultimate compliment for a pitcher, to go out there, go with the full 9, shut out the opposition. Maven slices that one down the right field side, a long, long run, and the catch is made by Charlie Blackmon. That's a highlight reel catch, as Blackmon, defying the warning track and the wall, sliding and making the play. Well done.
So much going on right there. First of all, how about a long run? I mean, that's a $12 cab ride. And then he's got to break himself down, worry about the pads on the wall, as you mentioned, Dick, and then concentrate on the backhand to squeeze it. The backhand, rather. Blackmon backhand. You know what I'm trying to say. It's a heck of a catch. That's a big league catch.
That's the play of the game by far. All right, 1 out in the 8th inning, and here's Reimer Liriano, has one of the 2 hits, a line drive single to right, the other a bunt single by Abraham Almonte.
Hey, that's great concentration right there.
And just think of how tough that is, the long run, able to make the slide into the catch, defying the wall. You know you're going to hit it with you turn that spike in just an awkward angle, and you're on a DL.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just a terrific big league play. Well done, Charlie Blackmon. Liriano works the count to 3-0. I think that's the first 3-0 count of the night, isn't it?
It might be.
It is. Adam Ottavino and Rex Brothers are tuning up in the bullpen for Colorado. And Adam Moore is in the on-deck circle as a strike taken, 3-1. Adam Moore, veteran catcher, called up from El Paso. There he is, giving the Padres a 3rd catcher here in the final month of the season. Up the middle and right to Matzik. Another good defensive play, helping himself. That was a base hit going to center field, and Matzik snares it. Dickerson, now Matzik.
Nothing you can do there, Reimer. Keep swinging it.
The sound of bat and ball and glove almost won.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull the rabbit out of my hat. Wow.
So 2 away here in the 8th. And Adam Moore getting a chance to hit as a Padre. He's been in the big leagues before. Hitting for Nick Vincent.
Had a chance to talk with Adam last homestand, and we were talking about Joe Whelan, and he said he was really throwing the ball well in El Paso. So getting a chance to see him pitch tomorrow would be a big treat for everybody, especially Joe Whelan. Yeah, I'm wondering if Adam will get a start tomorrow, maybe, because he caught him in El Paso.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Maybe Buddy giving him an at-bat right here to maybe just get him acclimated. Just a thought.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So his shutout, 2 hits through 8 innings, helping himself with a glove in the top of the 8th. Eric Stoltz with a good outing, a quality outing, but gives up a couple of solo home runs. Drew Stubbs and Nolan Arenado, no support for the veteran lefty, and it's a 3-0 game going to the bottom of the 8th. RJ Alvarez, hard-throwing right-hander, the rookie called up, acquired in the trade that sent Houston Street to the Angels.
He's got a live arm. Last time out for RJ was on Wednesday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It was in the 9th inning, 2/3 of an inning, a hit, a run, a couple of walks. And I talked to Darren Balsey, the pitching coach for the Padres, after that outing. He said, you know what, he was hyped up. Body was jumping out a little bit. Arm wasn't catching up. Well, let's see if he makes an adjustment tonight. But you see his numbers in Arkansas and AA San Antonio in the minor leagues for the Padres.
He'll face Arenado, Dickerson, and McHenry of the Rockies in the last of the 8th. Arenado homered the last time up, deep to left field. Starts him with a slider. Having a solid season with the bat, and already a Gold Glove as a rookie last year. Pretty complete player. High foul out of play. Last time up against Eric Stoltz, he got a high changeup. That's like a batting practice fastball, and bam, deep into the left field bleachers.
Yeah, you saw he cut it out in front of him a little bit. Not that changeup.
Pretty much could put that in the rule of no-nos, right? A high,
yeah.
Don't throw somebody a high changeup.
Not a good formula right there, yeah.
Not that he intended it to be up there.
Right.
And another slider. Just 23 years of age, Alvarez. Built like a fire hydrant. Big arms, big legs. Just foul past third. The attendance announced tonight here at Coors, 24,586. Yes, we remind you to be with us tomorrow to see Joe Whelan back in the big leagues, back on the mound against Jorge De La Rosa, the 13-game winner of the Rockies. He'll be on the air at 4:30 with Padres Live, the pregame show. Right field, Liriano giving ground and makes the play. And now our Bill Howe play of the game. Right fielder Charlie Blackmon running a country mile, slides and gloves that foul ball off the bat of Cameron Maben. And that goes in the highlight reel.
Oh, see his leg?
That's what I was talking about. I mean, he
got caught underneath that padding.
You get that leg in the wrong angle, and your whole body's going one way, and your leg or ankle stays locked. Trouble, but thank goodness he's okay. Here's Dickerson, a double in 3 trips tonight, a couple of groundouts. That one sails in the upper deck. One of the 24,586 with a souvenir. What do you think's going to happen here in Colorado? I mean, Tulowitzki and Cargo, are they going to be here next year?
You know what? It's going to be interesting if Tulowitzki is here in Colorado. You know, he's been here for so long. They've been to the World Series one time since he's been at shortstop for the Rockies. You know, it's interesting. Derek Jeter retiring this year, right? And Troy Tulowitzki wearing number 2 because he's a big admirer of Derek Jeter. Hey,
Yankees can afford his big contract.
Yeah, is there a chance that he could end up in the Bronx?
I mean, when he got hurt, Tulowitzki was only hitting .340 in 91 games, just 91. He had 21 homers, 52 runs batted in. I mean, he's a super shortstop. But he comes with a high price tag. You need a club that's got a big payroll. Alvarez backs Dickerson off the plate, and the count 1-2.
LaTroy Hawkins, big tall right-hander.
Oh, come on. Let the kid try to
throw the complete game.
Produce a complete game, yeah.
You know, maybe he will send them back out there, and maybe LaTroy is just getting that wing loose just in case.
23-year-old Matzik, and LaTroy is almost 2 times that. 1-2. Well, the Rockies have to get themselves some pitching, and the one in the last place effort this year with all the injuries, they've learned one thing: they still got enough hitting, even without Tulowitzki and Gonzalez and Kadire. And I'm not saying they're going to try and Rosario, but they could afford to trade one of those big names and get a top of the rotations starter if there is one out there.
Yeah, the Rockies have tried to do it so many ways throughout being at the big leagues, as far as the big league team is what I'm trying to say. Sinker ballers, hard throwers, breaking ball pitchers. Just can't seem to put a string of years together to where they're in contention.
And that's what makes De La Rosa's record of 44-14 here so amazing. He certainly is the exception. 2-2. Left field, but that's right at Almonte rather, for the second out. Just think of it, look at the talent there that's on the DL. Troy Tulowitzki, Carlos Gonzalez, all-stars. Michael Kadire, who led the National League in hitting last year and was, let's see what it was he hitting this year when he was injured, 331. Rosario just eats up the Padres. He's hitting 248 with 10 home runs. And yet they're still far and away the top hitting team in the National League. So they've got, even without those 4, hitting talent. So would they trade any one of the 4, maybe even 2 of them, to get some pitching?
Right.
And from the reports, there's really no one in the minor league system that is ready to come up now. The young pitchers are here, and Tyler Matzik looks like he's here to stay.
Hey, on that DL list, Michael Kadire, a free agent at the end of the year.
1-1.
It's funny how back in the day when Denver was host of a minor league team, the Denver Bears and the Zephyrs, they won championships back in the day. Why can't they consistently win here? That's always been the question. Pitching.
1-2 as McKendry, a single, a couple of ground outs tonight, and Alvarez trying to retire the side in order. Much better than his debut as a big league pitcher. He's shown more of the slider tonight. And another. Wearing a spring training number, 61. But wearing the most important number right there on his heart, number 19. Base is empty, 2 outs. Here in the 8th inning. Over the mound, charged by Amarista. The quick flip, and the inning's over. R.J. Alvarez, 3 up, 3 down inning for the young right-hander. At age 23, pitching the game of his professional life, only 2 hits, a Liriano line single and a bunt single by Almonte, a lot of ground ball outs. He's our Carl's Jr. star of the game. And trying to do something that no Rocky pitcher has accomplished in 3.5 seasons, shutout pitching here at Coors Field, helping himself with the quick reactions there on that line drive by Liriano.
Hey, the last couple times out tonight and at Arizona, which is a hitter's ballpark as well. 15 innings combined, 5 hits. He has not given up a run. He's only walked 4 and he struck out 10 for the young left-hander Tyler Matzek.
He gave up 5 runs in the first 2 times he faced the Padres, losing 6-1 and 5-3, but he's really gotten his game together. In fact, the last 3 starts, he's 2-1 with a 2.18 ERA, and then you add his effort tonight. So the Rockies have to be excited about his potential, and he's showing some great stuff. Last chance for the Padres.
And the last start, Dick, for Matzek, he threw 103 pitches. That was a career high. That last pitch there was number 94 for Matzek as McHenry goes out to have a chat with him as he falls behind 2-0.
Yeah, looking into the dugout, Mark Grant, before he came out there, you could see it, all of his teammates going up to him, giving a little pat.
Oh, yeah.
Get it done. Get
Absolutely.
it done. Really, they want him to be able to finish his own deal.
And it's the job of the Padres to get some base runners, multiple base runners, and take their chances.
2-0 pitch fouled away by Almonte, who has one of the 2 hits, the bunt single, last time up. Bunted toward the third baseman Arenado. And Arenado couldn't make the charged barehand pickup. The other hit way back in the 3rd inning. Line drive to left field, misjudged, and it's over the head of Dickerson. He took the wrong route, and on his way to second and holding is Almonte. You could see that Dickerson wasn't going to get to that one. He started in, angled across, and that line drive cleared his glove. And the Padres have their 3rd hit tonight, and maybe something brewing here in the 9th.
Well, that has got to be the worst feeling for any outfielder. You see the ball off the bat, you commit, and then all of a sudden, right about there, you're like, oh no, I've overcommitted. And the last-ditch effort, and it just goes over the glove, and the Padres got some action going here.
That's the first time the Padres have had a man in scoring position tonight. Amarista has grounded out 3 straight times. So single and a double. Almonte, the only Padre, along with Liriano, to successfully produce a base hit against this lefty. Padres need another man aboard, bring that tying run to the plate, and depending on a choice made by Walt Weiss, should he go to the bullpen, it's likely it'll be a right-hander, which would open up things for Seth Smith to hit. Getting a little ahead of ourselves, but looking at the glass half full. Troy Hawkins continues to throw. To Morneau, and he'll make the play himself with Almonte moving to 3rd. Now 1 away, and Solarte the batter.
Hey, remember after this one, after the Padres come back and win this one, Padres Live, the postgame show, Mike Pomeranz and Mark Sweeney going to break down this game and talk about the playoff races, everything going on in Major League Baseball. The Emmy Award-winning Padres postgame live. And then, of course, POV after that show. We're going to talk about the
Trevor Hoffman Day.
Trevor Hoffman, yeah.
That'll be one to certainly to stay around for.
Newly inducted member into the Padres Hall of Fame.
Off speed, fooled Solarte. On deck is Rivera. Infield back. Their concern is not the shutout. They'd give up the run to get another out on their way to victory. 100 pitches for Matzek. Line drive to LeMahieu. It's a soft liner, and there's 2 away. Well, LeMahieu has been in the right spot all night long, hasn't he?
Good positioning. That means that Matzek is hitting his spots.
This is headline stuff for a Colorado Rockies pitcher. 1 out away from throwing a shutout here at Coors Field. It hasn't been done since April 3 years ago. Padres, meanwhile, trying to avoid being shut out for the 17th time, leading the National League. First pitch is low, ball 1 to Rivera. He's fly to center, foul out to the catcher, and that was a good play made by McHenry right into the Rockies dugout, and grounded to short the last time. Hit well to center field on his horse's stubs. He's there, and the ball game is over. Tyler Matzik, 23 years of age from Mission Viejo, has thrown a shutout against the Padres tonight. A rare feat at Coors Field. The final, Colorado 3, San Diego nothing. Here's Mike Pomerantz with Padres Live.